I'm with James Sausmarez, Director of Investment Trusts for Henderson Global Investors in London, making a 2-year visit to New Zealand. And in that time, a lot has happened in the Far East, where the Global Investors Trust organisation has 2 key trusts. Which ones are those, James?
The 2 trusts is Henderson Pacific Investment Trust, which is a core growth trust focusing on total return without any income requirements or any desire to generate income, and then this Henderson Far East Income, which aims for total return with an income component in it. So there's a bit of a choice. Whatever your requirements are, you can go for one or for the other.
And in terms of Far East performance through the GFC, not much of a dent.
No, performance in Asia has been very good. Obviously in 2008 it suffered along with all other global stock markets, but it's recovered very rapidly in 2009. And
your outlook this year?
Yeah, we see the outlook as being very positive. The Asian markets have recovered faster than other parts of the world. Industrial production is already in excess of what they were pre-crisis, and we see sustainable growth coming from the Asian stock markets.
And earnings growth in particular?
Yes, earnings growth we certainly see as being solid.
Now, Henderson TR Pacific, what's the key theme for Henderson TR Pacific?
Well, there are 3 themes that Henderson TR Pacific are following. The manager, Andy Beale, is very focused. The first of those, and most important, is the overall area of domestic consumption in Asia. We see domestic consumption as being a key theme. There's big moves still of people from the country into the towns, and they're getting higher wages and then spending those wages. There's a lot of cash on deposit that's being spent, and most important of all, the government is actually wanting to increase the amount of the proportion of GDP which is generated by domestic consumption. The 2 other themes really are the G7 recovery, which will increase the amount of exports that come out of Asia, and also interestingly banks, because the Asian banks did not suffer from some of the problems of the Western banks. They've remained liquid and well capitalised, but the one thing that has happened to them is their valuations have been affected, so they actually represent quite an attractive investment at the moment.
And the weightings of that particular trust?
The weightings?
Currently, in terms of where the money's going?
Right, yeah. Certainly both trusts are overweight China. We see China as the most interesting area, and with that you could look at Greater China and include Taiwan and Hong Kong. And in the case of Henderson TR Pacific, also India. India doesn't yield much, so Henderson Far East Income is not so interested in it, but very much an area for Henderson TR Pacific.
So obviously with an income trust, you're expecting good yield out of the region. So.
Absolutely, and Henderson Far East Income generates a 4.2% annual yield, and Asian dividend yields are growing rapidly. We see them, they are actually growing at 7% per annum as compared to 2% across other markets of the world.
And your outlook for this year for those 2 trusts?
Our outlook's positive. Obviously China's has slowed down a bit in the first few months of this year, but we see that as coming back again. And certainly the income flow is not going to be a problem, so we certainly see the dividends coming through.
Thank you very much, James.